All right. Hello and welcome. So, we are going to go ahead and move into the second part of this Christ character, which is moving into practicing just recognizing and receiving it. So, this is a audio that you can repeat, or I'm sorry, a video that you can repeat over and over to help bring yourself into this unity with being held by our living Christ. Okay, so go ahead and grab your journals, grab a comfortable place where you can sit uninterrupted. This is going to be about 30 to 45 minutes practice. So go ahead and find yourself comfortable, grab your journal, and we're going to begin together the way that Jesus invites us to begin all of our moments of conscious awareness, which is to first pause and take a moment to recognize how you are connected to and supported by the place where you are seated. Let's go ahead and take a moment to recognize that together. And as you are recognizing that, we're invited to take a moment to notice which part of your body feels the most supported by your seat. And as you are noticing that, you're going to take a moment and write that down into your journal. You're saying, here is where I am the most supported, right where I'm seated. Here's where I'm the most supported. Take a moment and allow your brain to see that. And then we're going to allow 2 minutes for the body to experience being supported. So let your brain see it. You're looking at that body part again. And then you're going to allow your body to experience being supported. And then from that place, Jesus invites us to recognize that God is alive in the chair where you are seated. And God is alive in the chair and offering you living provision and living support for your journey. So take a moment and notice, what does that quality of support feel like to you as you are being held through the seat? Feel through the physicality of that support and into the mystery of God alive and holding you. Notice what that feels like for you. And we're saying, this is God's living gift to me. This is God's living gift to me. You're going to circle that. You're going to point to it. This is a tangible thing. This is your tangible experience. Nobody can take your experience from you. And so, what Jesus is really inviting you to step into is, what is your experience, your personal, intimate experience with being held? This belongs to you. Your body belongs to you, and this experience belongs to you. So, you're noticing that this is God's living gift to me. This is what God is providing me. This is the support that is for me. Take a moment and let yourself recognize that and take that in. And we're saying, this is given to all of me. This is God's living gift to me for all of me. For all of me. Take a moment and say that and allow yourself to recognize that. And again, we're saying this is God's living gift for all of me. This is God's living gift for all of me. Which parts of yourself feel separate from that gift? Which parts of yourself feel like they're not able to receive that gift? Take a moment and just become aware of that. See if you can take a moment and feel those areas within your mind or within your heart or maybe even your body, how it shows up maybe as a bracing or maybe as a collapse in your body or maybe as a instinct to just keep going and get busy. Just notice how it shows up in your own system. And you're going to place your hands on that. And you're saying, here's where I feel separate. Here's where I feel separate from this living support. Just notice that. Just notice it and let yourself feel it. Here's where I feel separate. Again, you're noticing, refreshing your awareness of which parts feel separate from the offering. So gently bring your awareness back to what God is offering you. Feel how your body is connected to that offering. And then from that place, allow yourself to connect with the parts of yourself that feel separate from that. So you're holding that and naming that. We're not trying to do anything. We are just moving into relationship with what God is offering, and we're moving into relationship with our experience, our very delicate and vulnerable experience. This part of you that feels separate is the hardest working part of your entire system. Okay? So as you're noticing the part that feels separate, recognize this is the hardest, most honestly intentioned, confused, and hardworking part of your system. This part of you is lost in the effort of this world. So as you're noticing that, this part of me is separate, but this part of me is extremely well intentioned, is fully loved by God, and it is probably the most exhausted and in pain part of my entire being. Okay? It's not separate from a conscious and aware choice. It's separate because of a lie and a misunderstanding. And in that lie and misunderstanding, you've been like a hamster on a wheel running for your entire life. So take a moment to have some relationship with that part of yourself. That this has not been easy, and this part of myself is very tired. Okay? So just take a moment and notice that. You can even feel as you're hearing these words coming, because these are Jesus's words. This is what Jesus is revealing to us, that we are held relentlessly, no matter what. And we're not built to be chronically doing it alone. We're not built to be doing it alone at all, but we don't realize that. We really don't know that. We had no idea how to come home in this way. So, as you are holding these parts of yourself, you're just saying, this part of me, the part that feels separate, is the hardest working part of my entire being. Notice what it feels like to just validate that. And Jesus is saying, notice again your body part where you're the most connected. And the offering that God is giving. And He's saying, take your arms and bring them out to the side. If you are somebody who has a shoulder injury or has something going on in there, you can just move your arms within a range of motion. Maybe this is like all you can do. That's fine. If you can move your arms more, that's also fine. You're perfect wherever you are at with whatever's happening. Just because you have a lack of capacity to move does not mean that you can't receive this next exercise. So you're moving within the range of motion that is working for you. You're just moving really slow and you're seeing if you can move and really be allowing your arms to move and express the offering that God is providing. So for me in this class, I feel just this profound sense of joy and fun and love that's being offered to me through the place in which I'm held. And so how do I move my arms in that joy, with that sense of joy? This is God's gift to me, and my muscles and my body is going to move infused with that gift, infused with that aliveness. Can I move slow enough that I allow that aliveness to come in? And participants, really take these next few minutes to feel, what is that like? What is that like to really allow that in? And then you're coming into a place of letting that settle again. And notice again the parts of yourself that feel separate, the part of yourself that has worked hard for your entire life is not going to just be like, oh, hey, oh, awesome. I feel Jesus. I'm home. I'm there. It's going to be like, okay, let's see how this goes. You're allowing and expecting that hesitation. You're honoring that hesitation and that distance. And we're saying, just, I'm allowed to be right where I'm at today. I can't be any further than right where I am today. And the more that I really honor that this is probably unfamiliar, to really take this in, to move being supported, to recognize I don't have to be in control, to feel the price I've paid for being the one in control my whole life. And going through this intimate journey of the changing of the guards, that I'm really going to let myself be guarded and protected by Christ. And I'm going to bring home to Christ the suffering and the hurt that is part of my life purpose so that it can be renewed through me and I don't pass it into my next generation or back out into the world. That I then am, it's going to end with me. It's going to be transformed in me. It's going to be held in me. I'm going to be the one who stands up and says, yes, I will. I will pick up my cross here. This is mine. But it's not like it's mine and I say it and it's done. It is, it's mine and I'm ready to begin this very gentle and tentative relationship. Tentative on my human part, radically outpouring on God's part, and really allowing myself to take my time in the receiving of that. Jesus says, go back again to where your body is the most held by the place where you are seated. And then from that place, again, refreshing your awareness. This is what God is providing me. See if you can feel maybe a little bit of subtle space in your body that opened as you use the movements with that. So you can feel how you're receiving it from your chair and also just from those movements within. This is God's living gift to me that is available for all of me, outpouring to all of me. Nothing is left out. And again, just noticing and taking a broader perspective of that part of yourself that has been living separate with fully honest intentions, fully good intentions. You've been trying to make sure you're going to survive. I mean, that's what's really at the root of this. So, really allow yourself to feel that part that has been working so hard to do that. So, participants, we are going to go ahead now and um, prepare to move into rest. We're going to move into our break for today's series. So, The rest practices are broken up into the introduction, and then it's just going to turn off. So you can turn off your phone and like really rest, set your own phone timer for how long you want to give yourself for rest. And then there is the moving out of rest and integrating that rest and connection to rest into the next part of your day. And there are the steps that Jesus is inviting us to go through to do that. So I really encourage you to start doing both in your rest practices, especially for this retreat, but also on a daily basis. These will be available to you guys and you can use them. So keep these links available so that you can access them easily. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to end this one, and I'll see you in a few moments.